Alright, I'm trying to make this a very quick video. Probably not going to be one, but let's just get right into it. I have been looking over the Steam sales for the last few days, and by the way, I'm trying to use my headphones to see if the audio comes through better through that. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm just going to try it out for this video. I made a few dummy clips, and the audio should be working right now. So I'm going to go through Steam, and this is the Steam summer sale, of course, and it's going to last for quite a few days. I'll put down in the description how long these things are all valid for, and I'm just going to get right into it because you just want to hear about the sales, and I've been looking that up. So starting from my wish list, this is all stuff that I've compiled, put inside my wish list to quickly have access to it. This is going off of from the best sales at the bottom, the least amount it costs you, to the most at the top. At the first thing I'll talk about is Valve, of course. They have a bunch of their games on sale, which is Half-Life and Counter-Strike and Team Fortress, the original Left 4 Dead. You can pick up all those games, most of them for about $1.50, $2.50 or less. Some of them less than $1. But if you want to, you can also pick up the Valve Complete Pack, which normally costs you $200 and 91% off right now for $17. By the way, I'm projecting my screen onto another screen, so I have like a bigger view of it. So I'm looking at the camera this time. I'm looking over here. So that's all the Valve stuff right there right off the bat. Next thing on my list, Brutal Legend, which is 90% off. It costs $1.50. All I know is Jack Black was in some sort of Rockstar thing. I've heard it's a real good game. It normally costs $15. It's $1.50. Can't go wrong. Portal, I've already talked about in the Valve pack, but it's $2 by itself. Night of the Rabbit. It's a very interesting game from the way it looks. It's a point and click adventure, indie puzzles, that kind of stuff. I looked up a few reviews. It looks pretty good. Oh yeah, by the way, before anyone comes to say anything, I have not played every game on this list. This is just my recommendations. Recommendations / buying guide. Things for you to have an idea about, because I know Steam could be a treacherous place to buy things if you study up on the Valve and Greenlight and things like that. You gotta be careful over here. So I'm just trying to help people. Next on the list is called Shadowrun Returns. I really don't know much about this game. It has pretty good reviews on Steam. I've looked up a few reviews myself. It's like an isometric type game. It's from a top-down perspective. Cyberpunk, which I love cyberpunk related things. It's a turn-based sci-fi game. It sounds interesting, and it is 90% off, only $1.50. And I think it is a part of a few bundles as well. Yes, you can get the complete collection of Shadowrun games, which is $10.35 for all of them. And those games include Shadowrun Returns, Dragonfall Director's Cut, and Hong Kong the Extended Edition, with some DLC sprinkled in here and there, deluxe editions and whatnot. So that looks good. Next on my list, let's see, Half-Life Portal. Next is Psychonauts. I heard about this game during the original PS2 Xbox era. It's 90% off and it costs $1 right now. It's some sort of like, I don't know how to explain it, like some sort of adventure game, but it's real. It was indie before indie or something like that. It's a cult classic, to say that. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's also part of a few bundles where you can pick up some other games that I have no idea what most of them are, but a few of them do make my list later on, so I'll come back. It's called the Double Fine Bundle, so you can look at that. Brothers: The Tales of Two Sons. Now recently at E3 it was announced that the developers of this game are making another game, and it's gonna be like a prison escape game with two characters. But this is their original game, and if I remember right from a few years ago, it's a game where you had to control both characters using both analog sticks. It sounded pretty unique. It's again 90% off, only $1.50 right now, and normally $15. Sounds like great deals. All in all, you could buy a lot of these things and spend less than $30 for a bunch of games. I managed to snag some games last year, and I have no interest in anything really this year for myself personally, but these are things just to, again, help you. Next are Siberia and System Shock. They're both around 85% off and normally cost anywhere from $10 to $13 normally. And System Shock, as far as I know, it's a real old type game. Like it's sort of like what the Portal is of GLaDOS, like the whole mind treachery stuff. I don't know. It's just something that messes with you. The enhanced edition is out right now since like 2015, and again, it is only $1.50. Next, Siberia. It's a point and click adventure. There's gonna be a lot of those on this list, by the way. I just like to pick up a variety, and I barely play. I haven't played any point and click games myself. I've seen people play them, but I just wanted to try some out, so I put quite a few of them here, like about 10 to 15. So Syberia 1 and 2, these two games, as far as I remember, came out in like the early 2000s, and recently got Syberia 3, the third one, about a year or two ago or something like that, and it did not do very well. People were talking about it's a buggy, glitchy experience, and that's the main reason why they don't like it. Let me just take a look over here, and yep, okay, I'm still recording. I just want to make sure I'm not talking to thin air. Next on my list is Transistor, 85% off, only costs $3. Transistor is again, it's a top-down type of game, a little isometric action. It's got rave reviews. The soundtrack's good. That's what I've heard, at least. I remember looking at reviews for this game, and I think it'll be worth your time. And it's a part of a bundle, which is the Super Giant Collection, which comes with Transistor as well as Bastion and another game called Pyre. I'm not sure how good of a deal it is when the normal only Transistor and Bastion only cost $3 and soundtrack's $2 for both of them. So the main thing is getting Pyre. You might well just skip the bundle and just go for the Transistor and Bastion, anything you can buy individually. I'm not sure about this Pyre game. It might be good, might not be good. Because yes, it hasn't even come out yet. It comes out next month. So this bundle is just like it's a pre-order, a Steam pre-order. I've never seen that before in a bundle. So yeah, I skipped the bundle and just go straight for buying the games by themselves. Next is Trine. All three of them are on sale. The first two are 85% off at $2.24 and $2.99. These games, I tried getting into them, but it wasn't for me. But I might try again. I was much younger back when I tried them, and so now you can get all three Trine games for only $8 in the Trine bundle. Even if I heard the third one didn't do too well, it's still worth getting the extra. It's worth spending a little extra to get the third one as well, because by themselves these two games would cost $5.25 almost. So an extra like $2.70 is not going to hurt. You might as well just pick up the entire game for that amount. And there's also the Frozen Byte collection, so it has a few other games I don't know about. I can't speak for them, so I won't. I did not manage to get that far in my looking for it. Next on my list is more Half-Life. Nights into Dreams. This is a weird one. This is a remaster from an old Sega Saturn game, if I remember right. It's called, yeah, Nights into Dreams, and it's like flying around, and it's a real weird game. From the way it looks, it's like it's real bright and bright and vibrant. I like the poster art, that's why I put it down. It is 80% off for $1.60. This one I know I know the least about. So again, when you go through this, I'm not telling you exactly what to buy. I'm just telling you things to consider buying. So please do not get angry at me. I don't know everything about games. I know a lot about games. I have a good history of games, but I do not know everything about games. So use your own knowledge, your own discretion in doing all of this. And moving on, recently I just saw Strider. Strider is a game that's cost $4.50 right now. It's 70% off. I had this on my list of games I wanted to buy a few years ago, but then I went on like a Capcom strike. I don't really like Capcom. I'm pretty sure Capcom is the one who makes this. Yeah, because he's an MVC, so yes, he is. So I took this one off my list a while ago, but if you want to buy it, sure. Sonic Mania, this game hasn't come out yet. It's only $18 right now, 10% off. I'm surprised about that. I don't know how much it normally costs, but this has to be the same game. It's only $18. I'll look up how much the PC version costs on its own. Next on the list, To the Moon. Now this is what I actually am pretty interested in. I've looked it over once before, and it's an indie game. It's got really good reviews. It came out about 6 years ago. And it says there's no combat in this game. It's like an old 2D pixel art style, something you'd see off of a game like Star Ocean from the PS1 era. I just really like the look of it. It's only $2. It's 8% off. Normally costs $10. And it's part of a few bundles. One for the soundtrack included as well for an extra 50 cents. That's always worth it. But the other one is the 5th year anniversary bundle, which includes another game called A Bird's Story. Again, I don't know what this game is. I didn't look up every little detail that was out there because it'd be taking way too long. And it seems like they add more things to this daily. So consider that bundle as well. It only costs like a little extra compared to buying the game on its own, and I think that'd be a good investment because it's only like, let's see, yeah, only $1.30 more to get some more games, some more soundtracks from the other game. I think that that's a worthy deal. Plus a comic book, I think, a digital comic, I don't know. Next on my list is Stronghold HD. Now this is an Age of Empire-like game or Rise of Nations. It's a castle simulation. It's a remake of the original game. It looks pretty nice. I generally like these RTS type games, and it's $1.19 right now, 80% off. I think that's a good deal. Moving on to the next one. I have, oh yeah, Deus Ex. Deus Ex occasionally pops up on these sales, like every year around this time I see it on sale. A few times other than that I've seen it on sale. Right now you can buy the Deus Ex collection, which comes with the original Deus Ex Game of the Year edition, which I've heard is one of the best games of all time. Deus Ex Invisible War, which people are a little split down the middle with. Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided with the DLC pass for the Mankind Divided and Director's Cut of Human Revolution, so all the content. It also comes with Deus Ex Default, but it's some sort of mobile port thing. You can just ignore that. You might as well uninstall that or something after you get it. That bundle only costs $21 for all those games, including the most recent one, which just came out like less than, what, 9 months ago, a year ago. So that's like a really good deal. And there's also the Idols Anthology, which is one of the most expensive things I could find, which is, you know, it costs $450, only costs $58 right now. It comes with a bunch of Hitman games, some Just Cause games, a bunch of Deus Ex games, Kane and Lynch, and a bunch of DLC for all that stuff, including a bunch of Tomb Raiders as well. But I don't really see I don't really think it's necessary to spend that much money on just one bundle. I mean, for that amount you can buy a bunch more other things, so I'd say if you're interested in Hitman or Deus Ex or Tomb Raider, try to find bundles individually for all that stuff, and then just move on to something different because those seem to be the best things in that bundle. Next thing on my list, Grim Fandango Remaster. I did say it right. This seems to be, it's another point and click adventure remastering, of course, of an older game, and it's like a real cult classic comedy. Like, just if you see the pictures, if you know what this game looks like, you know what I'm talking about. It's 80% off at $2.99 right now, and you get the soundtrack for an extra $1. The next bundle is, again, it's a part of the Double Fine bundle, which I mentioned earlier with Psychonauts. So that's something to consider. Next is Stronghold Crusader. A bunch of Stronghold games are on sale. And this is another one. It seems to be the next best one because this one got a bunch of praise as well. Again, 80% off, only $2. Consider it. Next, Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy Remastered. This game is it's Quantic Dream, if I remember right. Their very first game, or one of their first games, in North America as well, came out. Yeah, it was known as Indigo Prophecy in America. They dropped the Fahrenheit. This game is 8% off for $2. I've heard good things about Quantic Dream. I've not looked at anything they've done besides maybe Heavy Rain of many years ago. But if you want interactive story type gameplay, like a little more than point and click with a bunch of quick time events, consider it. Next, Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. This is basically True Crime Streets of Hong Kong, but it's called Sleeping Dogs. I actually have a history of this series, this game, but it seems to be a good game. It's 80% off, only costs $6 right now. Another good thing about, I should mention this, another good thing about this these Steam games I'm listing, a lot of them don't require high-end PCs. A low-end to mid-tier modern PC can run almost all of these games in acceptable settings. You're not gonna get high, ultra, and 4K and all that stuff, but as long as you've got, like, I don't know, an i5 and the 1060, 1050 Ti or something like that, or even lower, you could run most of these games in pretty good condition. Next is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, 80% off, only costs $4. Game of the Year edition comes with all the content. Heard a lot of good things about this game. Moving on, I'm not trying to talk about the games that like the real big ones. You should know what these games are at this point, so I'm just gonna skip right by the bigger ones. I'm here to highlight the smaller things that you might consider. Next is Broken Age. It's a part of Double Fine bundle. I believe this is a point-and-click adventure. Yes, it is. And it's a part of the whole set that I was talking about earlier. There are multiple bundles with it. I just recommend going for the Double Fine bundle. That seems to be the best one. Let's see what time it is. Yes, I'm making good time on this. Bastion, again, it's a part of a bundle. You consider getting it. It's a top-down isometric. I bet you a transistor. It seems to be a real good game. Gotten positive reviews in recent years. I looked at things about a few years ago. Next on my list, Titan Quest Anniversary Edition. This game I really don't know much about. It's the gameplay is a hack and slash action RPG Diablo style game. It's a remastering of an old game, 80% off, $4. You might find something really good out of it. It's part of a bundle for THQ Classic games, which includes the first two Darksider games and of course and two Red Faction games. And she's the best things a part of it. So if you're interested in any of that, you can get the bundle to get all of them. Besides that, let's move on. Next is Limbo. I've heard real good things about this. It's not horror, but psychological horror kind of game. It's an indie game, platformer. It's 80% off right now, only costs $2. The newest game that came out from this developer is called, I think, Inside as well, which that's on sale in a bundle. It's 40% off. It costs $12, and it's a part of a bundle. You get both of them for only $12.50. So you might want to consider that. It seems to be a really good atmosphere. Again, if you want to get sucked into a game, that's it. Next one, This War of Mine. This game is 80% off right now. Only costs $4. It's part of a set which costs $12, $11 actually, for 3 games. And it's called Bad Time Stories Bundle. So you might want to consider that. I don't know what the other 2 games in this is. You can look that up. Okay, I'm just here to guide you in a good direction. It's gotten really positive reviews. It's like a war game about war, but it's in a bad sense of just surviving war, not actually fighting in a war. So I remember Super Bunny Hop made a video on this a while, like when this game came out earlier, and it got me interested in the idea. I'm not gonna go into my ideas of war right now, but let's move on. Next game, FTL Pharos Light. It seems to be, it's a space simulation game where you have to manage a ship and all the parts of it in a sort of XCOM style with the whole ant colony thing. It's 75% off, $2.50, $3.50 for the soundtrack bundle. I've heard this game is brutally hard, but I think that it's a good game just from what I've seen from all the gameplay and reviews and stuff, so give it consideration. Next, Tales of Zestiria, 75% off, $12.50. I'm not sure how the Tales games are ported over to the PC, how well they are. I've heard that they're okay, and the ratings don't seem to imply anything bad about them. You can play them with an average PC, and i3 of any kind of hold this down, so that seems to be a good thing. And moving on, I don't know much about the Tales series in general. I just know it's an RPG series. It's kind of like the Call of Duty of it, because it just keeps on coming out. Next, Doom 3 BFG Edition. This seems to be the definitive Doom collection. It remasters the 3rd game as well as containing all the games before, which is Doom 1, Doom 2, I think Brutal Doom as well. So it's a real good deal. 75% off, only $5. It also comes with a Bethesda Software Classics bundle, which is a bunch of Bethesda games. If you're interested in them, go for it, I guess. Though it comes with Brink and Hunter the Demon's Forge as well as Rage, which isn't their proudest moments. But it does come with Wolfenstein, The New Order, and The Old Blood, Dishonored, The Evil Within, which might be a good game. I'm not sure about that. The Elder Scrolls Gamer 2, both of them Game of the Year editions. But it costs $60, so just like I said before about another bundle that's $60, I think it was the Eidos one, yes. I just recommend skipping it. It's good, get what you're interested in individually, and then move on, because it's just not worth it in my eyes. Next is the Oddworld series. I think that there's 6 games right there scheduled to come out. 4 of them are in the Odd Box, which are all the original games that came out, which is Abe's Exodus, Odyssey, Munch's Odyssey, and Stranger's Wrath HD. These are the core 4 original games, I think, and they only cost $3.24 in the bundle, which is 75% off. A great deal. Individually, each game costs about 75 cents, $1.25, $2.50, but altogether they only cost $3.24. So you might as well get that, which seems to be a great deal. I don't know much about this game. I just know that it's a platformer. It's a real classic of a game. It came out like the PS1, PS2 era, and it seems to be a really good hit. Consider looking at more details about this. Next on my list, Honey Pop. This is for the anime fans out there. It's a it's a anime-esque game. It's overwhelming positive, yes, on Steam for anyone who knows about it. It's sort of like it's like Bejeweled combined with a dating sim. That's the best way to describe it, and a little bit of RPG in there. It got really big at one point, and you already know what this game is if you watch if you're into it, you know what it is. Save 5% off, $2.50. The deluxe edition is save 5% off. The $3 save $5, which comes with the digital art collection and soundtrack. And see the artwork for this, I recommend getting the deluxe edition. It's $1.25, and the artwork, it looks amazing. Next, Endless Legend. I'm pretty sure this is a 4X game, just like Civ and all the rest of them. Yes, it is. I heard it's a real good. It's like a fantasy version of Civilization, if I remember right. And yes, it has a bunch of war simulation, turn-based. It has a hex grid instead of your standard grids from the older games. This comes in many different collections. I guess the Grandmaster collection is the best one because it contains every little bit of detail from the core game, all the DLC and whatnot. And it might include another game. Yes, it includes Dungeons of the Endless, which might just be another version of this game. No, it's a space game. So I'd recommend getting that out of all this, because the base game is 75% off at $7.50. The Emperor Edition is $10 and 75% off. So you might just go for the Grandmaster Collection. It's $100 normally. 75% makes it $25. So yeah, it's a good 4X game from what I understand. Next on my list, Age of Wonders 3. Honestly, I don't remember what this game is. It seems to be turn-based fantasy. It seems to be very akin to not 4X game. It seems to be like a Stronghold game, but fantasy. I'm just going through the images again, and it looks pretty good. It comes 75% off, or $7.50. It comes with a collection, which gets you all the deluxe content, everything for this game. And I'm not sure about the first two. I don't think that there's a bundle for the first two. No, wait, here we go. There's a franchise bundle, which gives you all the games, 67% off. Normally costs $95, and you get the first two games and all the expansions and all that stuff. This looks like a pretty good series, just a good fun time to just blow some time on. Next on the list is Fallout. Fallout Tactics, in fact. This is a squad-based game. I'm not sure exactly. This is what the Fallout used to be like, but it's a part of a bundle which comes with all the other Fallout games, up to 4 with the season pass and everything. So the one problem I did look at, I saw Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition. It says this is not optimized for Windows 7 and later, but that confused me. I could have sworn that game came out in 2008, and Windows 7 had been around for a good while at that point, if I'm not mistaken. So I have no idea. $60, $150 normally. Comes with a bunch of things. Bethesda games are complicated, so it wouldn't get past all this crashing. Yeah, the crashing and all these bugs and glitches. It's just Bethesda's got problems. Next on my list, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Everyone knows what this is. 75% off, $2.50. This is one of the best, just one of the best multiplayer arena games. Where you just drop it, have some fun fighting a bunch of enemies. It comes with there's a Star Wars bundle. If you're really deep into Star Wars, it's $60. It's 78% off, which normally costs $272, and it comes with a lot of Star Wars games from all sorts of time periods and consoles and all sorts of stuff. Next on this is one of my favorites, XCOM Enemy Unknown. This game is amazing. I'm not sure what the original XCOM was like, but this was just so much fun. I played this on my PS3, and it ran pretty well. It's a real tough game, so do not go into this expecting to have a jolly old time, because you're going to struggle a lot. The complete pack costs $10, 8% off. You might as well go for that. It's only an extra $2.50, and it's just a real fun time. I didn't get any DLC on the PS3 version, so I can't account for that, but it seems like this version is the best version to get, and I'm pretty sure I have XCOM 2 later on, but we'll get to that. Next on my list is Wasteland 2. This is, if I remember right, this is like something from the producer of Fallout games, so it's like a return to form. It's a real like grinding game, but and it takes time to get into. It's a slow burn type of game, to say the least. 75% off, $10. The digital deluxe edition is only $15, so I would consider getting that. I'm not sure what it comes with off the top of my head, but it probably is like some DLC. Plus, it comes with a copy of Wasteland 1, the original game, and I consider getting it. Wait, here we go. The digital deluxe edition comes with, well, let's see what's different between the two. It comes with a free copy of The Bard's Tale, which I'm not sure what that is. It's another game on sale and costs $2. I'm not sure then if you should get the digital deluxe. You should just get the normal edition of this, the classic edition. Excuse me. And then buy The Bard's Tale by itself if you're interested at all. Let me take a look at that page again. The Bard's Tale. I'll only see what kind of game it is. It is a RPG adventure game. The screenshots make it look like a top-down sort of experience, isometric and all of that. This game is an older one because it came out in 2005. I don't know anything about it. Next on my list, Age of Wonders covered that. Oddworld covered that. So Anna's Quest. Anna's Quest is a let's see, a point-and-click game. I love the art style for it. It reminded me of the Professor Layton series. That's why I put it down. Same 5% off, $4.99. Seemed like it could be a real good time. It has like a fantastical elements to it. So moving on, next is Torchlight. These games are like I remember back when they came out in the late 2000s and early 2010s. The first two games, they were like a Diablo game for the replacement for Diablo 3, because Diablo 3 came out terribly. They're both same 5% off. The first one is $3.75. The next one is $5. So consider getting them. It might be good to just burn some time. Well, I'm not sure if there's story or anything. Next on my list, Metro Redux. Individually, both of these Reduxes cost $5, but if you bundle them together, it costs only $7.50. Yes. And there's also a Deep Silver 2016 pack, which comes with Saints Row 2, 3, and 4. As well as a few Dead Island games, but you know, yeah. Homefront Revolution, you might have to throw that away. My number 9. Okay, forget this bundle. Homefront Revolution, my number 9, just taking up space. Those should be free games because they're shit. They should even be free. They should be delisted, especially Homefront Revolution. My number 9 might have some good things, but Homefront Revolution is just, I'm not gonna get into it. Do not buy the bundle. Buy the Metro games individually. Buy Saints Row 3 and 4 individually. I'm pretty sure both of those are, have the Game of the Century edition or whatnot. I forgot what the names are. They're always just so wacky. The full package and Game of the Century edition. I'll just go straight to that then. The full package is $3.75, same 5% off. Comes with everything from Saints Row 3. I would get that instead. And Saints Row 4 Game of the Century is $5. And let me see. I'm gonna go through it real quick. I have not looked this up yet. Saints Row 4. There it is. Yes, $3.74. Normally get this Game of the Century edition, same 5% off, $4.99. Don't get any of these franchise bundles and whatnot. It seems to be better to just get the first two, the third and fourth game, and then buy the first two on their own. Cause I don't know what all this other stuff is, but it just seems to be needless add-on material. Next, Rise of Nations Extended Edition. There are a few extended editions that have come out recently, which basically remaster the graphics a bit, and I think this is a older game, like came out on Age of Empire 2 at times. It looks just like Age of Empires, but with a world map kind of thing, like Hearts of Iron, those games. So consider getting it. It came out like 2003. This remastered version looks really good. Same 5% off, $4.99. You can get a 4-pack if you got your friends. So it's only four copies of the digital license for $15. Might be worth it. And on top of that, there's a Microsoft RTS collection, which includes Age of Empires 2 and 3, the HD version for 2, and all the DLC for that one. Age of Mythology Extended Edition, Halo Wars Definitive Edition. It seems to be a lot of good things here for you to be able to buy, so I consider getting it. Because $25 to all that RTS goodness, yes, I highly recommend the bundle. It's only $20 more to get Age of Empires and all those expansions, plus some Halo Wars, which I remember playing on Xbox 360. It was really fun. Next on my list, Hotline Miami. the second game. Let me see. It costs 75% off, $3.75. It's digital special edition for $5. It's a combo pack. It gets you both games for $5. It's a gory, mind-bending, like acid trip adventure. You get overwhelm your senses. Try it out. It seems like fun time. Warhammer. There's a Warhammer franchise pack which costs, let's see, I think around $30. But let's see, they always change them up. There's one, the Sega Warhammer 40K Ultimate Collection. Comes with Dawn of War 1 and 2 and all the DLC. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine, which is it's a action game, like an action shooting game. It's only $46. It might be worth it if you're interested in this Warhammer game. If you're interested in the Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine game. But if you just want the RTS games, you can get the Dawn of War franchise pack, which is 75% off, costs $140 normally, but it's only $35 right now because of Dawn of War 1, Dawn of War 2, and all those expansions, but does not come with any of the Warhammer 40,000 stuff. So if you don't want to spend the extra $11 to get the Space Marine stuff, you can just consider getting the franchise pack instead. Granted, I think this Ultimate Warhammer thing also comes with extra content for Dawn of War 2 Retribution, one piece of content, which costs $250. So it comes down to your decision. Dawn of War is a real fun, bloody adventure. I have no idea what the stories are about because it's like board games and novels and art and all sorts of games. So I play Dawn of War 1 and all its expansions, Dawn of War 2. I'm on Chaos Rising right now. I haven't played it in a while. Next on my list, Day of the Tentacle. If this is by LucasArts, it's a remastered version of the 1993 game. Yes, it's gotten really good reviews. It's a point-and-click game. Try it out. LucasArts in the 90s sounded amazing. So next on my list, Age of Mythology, covered that. Next, The Talos Principle. This is a real weird puzzle game. Kind of like, if I remember, it's like a Portal-esque type game. If you liked Portal, I'd recommend trying this out, see if you get some sort of enjoyment out of it. First-person puzzle game, philosophy, science fiction, all sorts of good things. It is 75% off, costs $10 right now. There's a gold edition that costs $13, 81% off, so consider that. Let me check my timer. I'm hoping to be under 20 minutes. I'm at 30, god dang. This video is going to turn, okay, this video has turned into something more. It's going to take about 45 minutes to an hour at this rate. Oddworld, New and Tasty. It's a remastering of the first game, and they're doing like not a remastering, it's a retelling of the first game, the first story. So it seems to be a real nice game, like a real nice remaster from what I've heard. New one called Oddworld, what's it called? Oddworld Soulstorm's coming out this year. So you might want to consider just playing the first 4 and then waiting for them to remaster all 4 of them again before, or you can just buy them now and just hold them on reserves. Same 5% off, $5. There's a complete edition which comes with, let's see, it comes with the original Abe's Odyssey and stuff. But I recommend just getting the odd box and then buying this. It seems like you just get more content because this comes with more DLC for New and Tasty. And I take full games over DLC any day. Let's see, Transformers War for Cybertron. I played this game back in like 2009 or 10 on my Xbox 360. Real fun multiplayer, real good story. The best Transformers entertainment you can buy today that's come out modern. It only costs $5. This 75% off. War for Cybertron, the sequel, is 80% off and it costs $10 right now. I don't know how well that was received, but I just know War for Cybertron was the one I played and I liked it. So moving on. You can get both of them for $15. Moving on, Age of Wonders, covered that. Oddworld, covered that. Torchlight, covered that. Crysis 2 Maximum Edition. Crysis is one of those games. It was the original stress test for your PC back in like 2007, 2011. Those games push you to the limit when it comes to what you could do with a maxed out rig back in the day, which was only like 10 years ago. It comes save 5% for it costs $7.50. The Crysis Collection is the first game. The expansion is the first game, and this game for save 5% off at $11 seems to be that seems to be the best deal right now. Moving on, Crysis 3. I'm not sure about how that was received. It just seemed to come and go. Next, the Banner Saga. This is a game I think originated on the PC, moved its way over to the consoles. It's an indie game. I don't really know much about it. The art style is what really drew me in, and it's like a strategy RPG esque. It looks like a comic book in motion, which is what I love the most from the screenshots. It costs 75% off, costs $5. Deluxe edition is $6.24, same 75% off. Comes with the soundtrack. I say pick that up. Excuse me. Alternatively, there is a deluxe pack which comes with both games and both soundtracks, which seems to be the best deal out of all of them. Costs $15, no, $14.87 to be exact. Moving on, Oddworld, Fallout, Sonic Adventure DX. If you don't own Sonic already, just buy it. There's a bunch of Sonic games on sale. The original 3 games plus Sonic 4, both episodes, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic All-Stars Racing, Sonic Adventure 2 and Battle, which they split up Adventure 2 into a regular version and the Battle's DLC, which sounds stupid. Should just release them both together. Sonic CD, Generations, Lost World. It's basically every Sonic ever released in the last 20 years on major consoles and PC. It's 28% off. I mean, same 5% off and $28. The Sonic Games Collection is specifically called. Of course, Sonic Adventure DX is included in that bundle. Moving on, Trine 3, Tales of Symphonia, one of the best games of all time for I've heard. That and I think it's a sequel called Dawn of the New World or something. This is the PS3 for it. If I remember, though, it's locked at 30 frames per second or something like that. That's why people were upset when it came out. But it's still a great game. Only costs $5. It's 75% off. Go for it. It's like Tales of Symphonia and Vesperia were the ones. Next on my list, Don't Starve. This is a sort of like if Minecraft and like DayZ or H1Z1, like survival games, were brought together, or Terraria as well, Terraria / Minecraft. It's just an endless survival game. Same 5% off. Same 5% off, $3.74. There are a few bundles with it, which I'm not going to get into because there just seems to be too many. Use your own discretion. Find what you deem to be the best pack for you. Like I said, I take games over DLC any day, but you know. Next, Fallout 2. I think I covered that stuff already. There's a bunch of Bethesda packs. Crisis Warhead, Fallout New Vegas. Next. Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition. Funny thing is, I remember buying this game back on Xbox 360 a few years ago, and I paid way too much for it. It still hurts me just to think about that. But right now, it's 75% off. Only costs $7.50. And it's one of the best games. For some reason, you can't find Dragon Age 2, I believe, and Inquisition or Mass Effect 3 on Steam. It probably has something to do with EA's Origin program. Excuse me, my lips are... I'm getting a little thirsty here. I've been talking for a while. Give me a second. No cuts. I'm not cutting my videos anymore. Remember how thirsty you are. Okay, this BioWare bundle comes with the Jade Empire. I have no idea what that game is. This BioWare in the old days, which I heard the best BioWare has ever been. This game was released in 07. Comes with Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2 Digital Deluxe Edition. It's 80% off, only costs $19. You might want to consider it if you want to get a bunch of games from them. Next on my list, Hotline Miami, covered that. Baldur's Story Abyssal City. If I remember right, this is a platforming action game. Yes. It's a sort of maybe a Metroidvania. Yes, it is Metroidvania according to the tags. Stay 5% off, $3.74. It's rated really good. It's got like low to mid 80s. And this was a Steam Greenlight game, one of the good games that came out of it. So give it a try. I mean, it's like for that price, you can't go wrong. Next on my list, Deus Ex. Already covered that. Mankind Divided. East. I have not played the East games, but there are a few of them, a bunch of them actually available on the Steam now, as well as on the PS Vita, I believe, and PSP. But the Steam games seem to be the best ones because they have obviously graphic resolution controls and like anti-aliasing and stuff like that. And some of them are available for the first time in English because of these releases. So you have, there's no bundles for this as far as I know, but most of them are about 70% off. All of them are about anywhere from, I don't know, $4 to $6 each. So like, you're going to be spending about 20 to 25 bucks to get all of them. There's Ys Origins, which is the very first in the series when it comes to chronological order of how the story takes place, and then there's EC1 and 2 Chronicles Plus, which is like a remake of a remaster of the original 2 games, which is alright. It's the best version of those 2 games, costs same percent off of $4.50. Then there's Ys the Ultimate Falcon, which is the third in the series, which is same percent off at $4.50. So it goes Ys Origins, Ys 1 and 2, Ys Ultimate Falcon, if I remember right, because it gets complicated. It's just it's stupid the way that they release the titles. The naming could be better. And there's Ys 6, the Ark of Nafishtim. I can't say that word properly. Which again is the 6th game in the series, because not all of them are numbered in title. It's 7% off at $6, so add it all up together, and that's $6 plus $4.50 plus $4.50, so that's $15 plus Ys Origin, which makes it $21. Consider them, they're some of the best that Falcom has put out, from what I understand, that in the Legend of Heroes series. Xseed, I think, localized a bunch of them, and NIS is localizing the 8th game in the series, which is Lacrimosa of Dana. Next on my list is Galactic Civilizations 3, 70% off, and $15, I believe. Let me see, I lost my place. Yes, no, $5, same percent off and $5. $15 is the original price. I put this on my list just because Angry Joe did a video. He played the developer, and they seem like a really nice game. It's a real big modding community. Like, you get all sorts of stuff. Like, you get Star Wars shit. It's a 4X. No, it's a galactic sim type game. It's a strategy game. I'm not sure if it's a 4X. I don't think it. Okay, it is a 4X. And there's bundles and packs with it that include a bunch of DLC and Deluxe Edition stuff. 71% off, $30. Consider it. Granted, the original game is only $5, but they're expansions and stuff. These games are usually best when you bring everything together, so it might just be worth to spend that extra 20 to 25 bucks to get the Deluxe Editions. Next on my list is Planetarian: The Reverie of a Little Planet. This is a I think it's a game by Key. Key is the developer. They make a bunch of visual novels. Some of them are rogue games back in the day, but and they re-release as normal games. But that's neither here nor there. Yes, these are the people who released Clannad, Air, Little Busters, Rewrite, Angel Beats, and this is one of their older works, if I'm not mistaken. This is their HD remastering of it. Same percent off, $3. Consider it if you want to basically cry your eyes out, because it's just it's emotion born. It's just gonna tear you apart in the simplest terms. Next on my list, the Ys games, Ys 1, Action. Next is Defender's Quest: Valley of the Forgotten DX Edition. This seems to be a real nice. It's a tower defense RPG game. 67% off, $4.94. Have some fun with it. That's what I recommend. Next, we're getting into more expensive games soon. XCOM 2, 67% off. I have it organized by percentages, so the percentages can keep on going down. 67% off, $19.79. XCOM 2 just released like February of last year, if I remember right. The sequel to one of my favorite games on the PS3 and maybe all time. The Deluxe Edition is only $5 more, $24.74, so you might as well consider getting that. And there's also a bundle which comes with Civ 6, and they both that costs $41.83, 65% off for both. So I don't know. Again, up to your discretion. Next on my list, Top Classic Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Now, there are a bunch of older Splinter Cell games on sale. There's a bundle called the Elite Echelon Edition, which I just recommend going straight to that. 66% off, and it comes with 4 games, which is Chaos Theory, Double Agent, the original, and Conviction. And 66% off, $13.59. That's my recommendation. Go straight to that. Let me just check that price for the individual games. I'm pretty sure individually all those games would cost more than that, even on sale. Individually, each one's about $15, and it costs $15 to $16, maybe $17. Next on my list, Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. Another enhanced extended edition game. Old school, real good. If you want to see what the best of the old schools were, try getting games like this. That's why I put them here. There's a few collections with them. It come with sagas and bundles, and Infinity Collection, this one is called. It comes with Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition for the first one and second one, a bunch of DLC, and that costs $30.72, 74% off. The original is 66% off and $6.89, so I recommend getting the bundle. It seems to be the best deal. So depending on how you organize all these things I've talked about so far, you can either spend less than $30 or upwards of, let's say, $100, $150 if you got everything I'm talking about. Probably more than that, but it depends on how you want to structure it. That's the thing about, let me see. That's the thing about buying Steam. You have to know exactly how much you want to spend. You have to budget. PC is about budgeting. That's what I've learned. Next on the list, Homeworld Remastered Collection, 66% off, $11.89. If I remember right, this is a remastering of the first 2 games of the whole world back in the day, and there's a collection bundle which comes with that plus Deserts of Karak bundle, which is an expansion, which is an extra $10, making $21.66. And there's the deluxe edition which comes with the soundtracks. But I recommend, if I had to choose, I'd recommend buying the bundle that comes with the expansion and then buying the soundtracks later on, because those are also on sale for $2.71 each. I'm not sure. I think that's gonna be the best deal. I'm not gonna do the numbers right now. But moving on, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, move on. Deponia, another point and click. I'm pretty sure this is. There's a bunch of games in this series. There's a huge bundle which comes with a bunch of them, so I'd recommend trying that out. In fact, no, this bundle comes with Neither Rabbits and Anna's Quest, which I've mentioned already. This one's called Deponia Doomsday. So this bundle is 88% off, $15.32. It's called the Daedalic Artist Selection Bundle. Consider it. Next, Total War Warhammer. I'm pretty sure there's a sequel for this coming out soon. And it's like Total War combined with Warhammer. I'm not a fan of Total War series because, again, this goes with what I like about my theories of war and everything. But basically, I don't want to play those games. But this is a game based with the Warhammer series, and it looks really fun. 66% off, $20.39. Consider it. Next, Far Cry 3. I'm not going to talk much about this. Everyone knows or should know what this is. This is Ubisoft at one of their best. This game does use DRM, though. This is the Ubisoft Uplay feature, which I don't like Uplay or anything related to DRM in general. So go in with your own mindset. The deluxe edition is $10, and there's a Far Cry bundle which comes with basically all 4 Far Cry games, which is $48. It normally costs $120. Oh, it also comes with Far Cry Primal. So again, use at your own discretion. Next, bunch of Tom Clancy games. Okay, Max Payne. This gets complicated because this is Rockstar, and Rockstar has recently been in the news for some bad press for what happened with GTA 5 and Open 4 modders. But just know that that's EA working and not Rockstar themselves. Rockstar in the past have endorsed mods and even shown off a few of them that they liked. So I think that you shouldn't punish Rockstar for EA. I mean, not EA. I think it's Take-Two. I've been saying EA. I'm just so used to thinking of them as the bad ones. But there's Max Payne. It's a complete collection. Comes with all 3 games plus the season pass basically for the 3rd one. It's 70% off. Only costs $16. I've heard these games are real nice, good stories. This is Rockstar, one of their best. So yeah, consider the Max Payne complete bundle. I think that's the best deal. Just like I said before, Splinter Cell. Bully, speaking of more Rockstar, Bully Scholarship Edition, 65% off, $5.24. It's basically GTA without the violence and the hookers and all that stuff. It's just GTA in a school setting. And this came out in 2008 originally. This version of it is 65% off, $5.24. I might have said that before. Good game. Next, Clannad. Clannad is a key visual novel, the definitive one I know because everyone heard about this one. It's 65% off, $17 right now. There's a bundle with it which comes with more stories for the series. I recommend getting that. 69% off, $28.32. And moving on, all my thoughts about Key I said before in the Planetarian, I think it was called. Next is a game called Fran Bow. I don't even remember adding this one, but it must have been good. It's a creepy adventure game. Look, yeah, psychological horror type stuff. So that's why I added it. Point and click adventure. Seemed to be a good story. So I just put it in. 60% off, $6. Next, Darkest Dungeon. I think I'm about like 3/4 way through this list, so bear with me, please. But this is for your sake too. If you're watching this, you want to know good deals and good new games to consider. Took me a while to figure out all this myself too. Next, Darkest Dungeon, 60% off, $10. It's a psychological horror game, turn-based combat. It's like real dark, dark fantasy. Sometimes I'll just say what the tags are, but I've looked it up and the tags are accurate to most of these things that I'm talking about. And like, there's an aspect to this game where if you have like a your character's like a insanity meter type thing, and they can't take the stress anymore and they lose it, they might just die on the spot or something, or they might disobey orders and get killed right away. There's a thing called there's a bundle for the Ancestral Edition, which comes with the soundtrack and the Crimson Court expansion DLC. Consider getting that. 62% off, $21.57 right now. Next on my list, Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. I have no interest in the original Divinity games, but I'll try the original Sin games and see if that gets me into it. It's a top-down turn-based game, and it looks really interesting. 60% off, $16 is the enhanced edition, and also a collector's edition, which is $28, which comes with 2 copies of this, plus the classic games Divine Divinity and Beyond Divinity, and a few extras like the soundtrack and art, digital stuff, good things. You might want to consider spending the extra 10 or so bucks. See if you get a friend who can play this with you. I guess it's a multiplayer intention game. Next on my list, Eden. I don't know what this is. Again, I started adding a lot of things, but each one of them looked like they were worth my time. This looks like it's gonna be an emotional adventure for anime fans. Artwork looks just like Key. This might be Key again. It's gotten very positive reviews. It's a visual novel. Consider it, I guess. 60% off, $7.99. Next on is Pillars of Eternity. This is getting a complete edition on the console soon, but the best deals are still going to be on the PC because it's been out for the longest. And I'm pretty sure it has a complete-ish edition, which is it's the Ultimate Collection, which comes with all the things for $50, the same price you get on the consoles later on. Plus, there's a bundle which comes with Tyranny, but I could go with the Ultimate Edition of this game, to be honest. Pillars of Eternity is like a top-down game. I've heard some negative press from it from Paradox. Paradox is the same situation. I'm pretty sure there was who own this game, or their publisher. And before the Steam summer sale started, they raised the price of a bunch of things, so the sales, the percentages don't mean as much. But yeah, it's a grimy move. It's still a good game, but know that that's what the publishers did. Next on my list, Beholder. I'm pretty sure this was part of a bundle for the other game earlier. Excuse me, I have allergies and stuff, so if I do a lot of like scratching and stuff, that's just my allergies acting up. Yes, this is a part of a bundle with this War of Mine, the Bad Time Stories. Consider looking it up. Next on our list, Yobawari Night Alone. These games, I think, originally released on the PS4 or Vita, or both. It seems to be like it's a horror type game, but the art style is just really weird and cute, so again, 50% off, only $10. Give it a try. There's also a limited edition bundle which comes with I don't even know how to say this title, this name, so I'm not gonna say it. But it comes with a bunch of digital art and soundtracks for both of these games for an extra $10, $20.30. I just get that. Surprise yourself sometimes. Next to Danganronpa 1 and 2. If everyone should know what this is, if you're into VNs, it's basically Ace Attorney meets like. I don't know. It's Ace Attorney meets some sort of Agatha Christie story because everyone's just dying and stuff. And it's just a fun anime adventure. There's individually both of them are 50% off, $15, but bundled together they're 55% off, only $27. So I get that. I just get the Absolute Despair collection because it comes with Ultra Despair Girls, I think, and that's some sort of like some sort of action shooting game or something. I have no interest in that. Unless it has a really good story or it's integral to the series, I just skip it. Okay, I'm not into like those expanding games, and sometimes Japan goes too far when it comes to making game series. So next, Lucy, the Eternity She Wished For. It seems to be a Key-esque game, but it has a more mature tone from what I understand. It has very good reviews. It's a visual novel anime. If you've watched Chobits, the anime, you kind of know how the story is, like the setup. If you know what Chobits is, you know what I'm talking about. 50% off, $5. Consider it. Next, Beyond Good and Evil. Setting up for Beyond Good and Evil 2, whenever that hopefully comes out, because the trailers, they've never stopped trying to make that game come out on Ubisoft. I don't like Ubisoft and EA and the rest of them, but they sometimes make really good games, like this one. Or at least back in the day, had good games. 50% off, $5. Consider it. It's a It's like it's an adventure game. It's really weird. It has a good soundtrack. I remember that. Next. Let's click out of that. Next thing on the list is Orwell. I'm pretty sure that was a part of the Bad Time Stories bundle. Next on my list is Candle, which again was a part of another bundle I mentioned earlier. But let's see. Orwell is a part of the Bad Time bundles venture. And Candle is, let me see what time it is, 12:30. Okay. Candle is a part of the Daily Lake Artist Selection Bundle, which is where Anna's Quest and Night the Rabbit was the first thing to talk about, plus Deponia Doomsday. Next, Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. Ori and the Will of the Wisp had a great trailer at E3, and I really enjoyed it. So this is a atmospheric soundtrack game. It's a platformer. It has a great art style. Consider it 50% off, $10. The definitive edition of the first game. Looking forward to the second one. Next, Phantom Brave PC Edition. This is like a NIS game, a real wacky comedy thing. 50% off, $10. I don't have much to say about it. Next, Fallout 4 mentioned Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. A bunch of Legend of Heroes games are on PC, just like the Ys games. Probably the best versions of all these games, originally released on the Vita and whatnot. So I consider getting them here again. 50% off, $10. It's a good RPG, if I understand. I didn't get into it for a while, but I'm thinking about trying it now. Terraria is Minecraft but in 2D. It's like 50% off, $5. Next, Silence. It was a part of a bundle I talked about earlier. I'm pretty sure the Daedalus Art Edition. Next game, Stellaris. It's a space sim game. I don't know much about it. I put it on there just to see if I was interested for later events. 50% off, $20. Next, Axiom Verge. If you like Super Metroid, this is a game that could be for you. It's a huge Metroidvania. Got positive reviews. It might be a little too ambitious in its own places, but it's a good game. Next, the game that can include Yoma Warrior, can't pronounce its name. Next, The Last Remnant, Square Enix back in 2007 or 8. This game had a few problems, but I think on sale it would be a good buy to pick up. 50% off, it's $5. It looks really nice, came out in 2009. Even now it holds up with its look. Grim Dawn, next. This game is called Grim Dawn, 50% off, $12.50. It is a Diablo-esque game. Try it out. I think this game was a Greenlight game or something, and it's a spiritual successor to what Diablo was. So you know Diablo, you know this, and you might like it. Next, Seabed Prelude. This is a game, I think it's a Yuri visual novel or something like that. I just put it on a long time ago. It's on sale right now too, 50% off, only $4. I don't know anything about this, so look it up yourself, please. If you have an interest in it. Yuri is girls' love, by the way, so it's a gay story of girls. Just so anyone who don't know. Valiant Hearts. This is a World War I game, I believe. I think this is by EA. Yeah, this is Ubisoft as well. They make this seems to be a good game. 50% off, $7.50. You could consider getting it. I think a few Rayman games are on sale as well. Rayman Legends and Origins are on sale for $10 for Origins, $15 for Legends. So I'm not sure about that. You could look it up yourself. I'm not much of a Rayman person myself. Next, Hyper Light Drifter, 50% off, $10. It is, again, it's like a Transistor or Bastion. It's a top-down game. Feels like I think this one's more Zelda-esque in the original type of Zeldas. Art style is amazing. Soundtrack, the graphics are good. If you into like the old pixelated graphics, you'll love it. Next, Freedom Planet, the best Sonic game we've gotten in the last 10 years. Most people would say, at least when it comes to the old school 2D style. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews, and I'm not much into old school Sonic, but if you like it, try it. 50% off, $7.50. Next, Tyranny. I'm speeding the pace up here because I don't want to keep you here for too much longer. Tyranny. This game is just like Pillars of Eternity. I think it's the same people who made it. It's like you ruling over you being like an assassination squad to keep a kingdom safe, something like that. It's a 50% off, $22.50. There are a few extra editions which up by an extra $1 or $2, and then another one's $32. I consider getting the $32 one because usually that's the best one to get. Doom from 2016. This game just came out like really a year ago, if I remember right, and it's rated 50% off at $15. So great, get it if you're into that old school gore and shoot. Origami, 50% off, $10. Great art style stealth game. It's like Assassin's Creed, but it's true stealth. You can only take one hit, if I remember right, in this game. So it hasn't been optimized well for PC last I checked, but consider it. Baron Saga is talked about. Torment Ties Numeria. This game is like a how do I describe it? it's like, again, it's like Pillars of Eternity, but it's part of an older series of games, like a sequel or a spiritual successor. It hasn't done too well right now when it comes to reviews, but 50% off, $22.50, and there are a few extra additions above that you can consider getting. I have a feeling it's the type of game that once it gets fully patched later on, it'll be a good game to buy, but for right now, you might want to hold off on it. Next, 40% off Civilization 6, $36. You already know what Civilization is, one of the best 4X games of all time, immersive as all hell. Next, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Again, you know what this is, 40% off. No, it's 40% off, but the Game of the Year edition is only $1 more for $25. So don't buy the original for $24. Buy the Game of the Year for $25, best deal. Inside, I talked about it before for Limbo. Tales of Berseria, 40% off, $30. Seems to be an okay game, but I wouldn't consider buying this at $30 right now. Better things to get. Next, Steins Gate, 40% off, $21. I heard it's one of the best VNs of all time, great anime as well, so pick it up if you're into VNs, visual novels. Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, second chapter. This, I think the third game that's trilogy came out, and the Trails of Cold Steel is the one that needs to have the third game released soon as well. Yeah, it came out in May, it's the third chapter to Trails in the Sky. Next, Don't Starve Together, already talked about Don't Starve. Full Throttle remaster. This falls under the remaster category, just like the extended editions of all those RTS games. This is a remaster of another visual novel point and click type game, just like Grim Fandango. Consider getting it if you're into it. 34% off, $9.89. Let's see, the new Prey game. I put this on here because 34% off. It's only $39 right now, and the game just came out like less than 2 months ago, so I consider getting that. Next, Hollow Knight, 34% off and $9.89. This game looks amazing. It's a Metroidvania. The art style is solid. The gameplay looks really good. It's got positive reviews, just released this year. I'd say just go for it if you're into Metroidvanias. A game called Everything. I'm pretty sure this is like a god simulator game. That's what got me interested in it. It's like, I'm not just Sims, but this was like building an entire universe and planets and all sorts of stuff. It just intrigued me just by hearing the concept of it. 34% off, it's $9. 44% off for the OST as well, which is $12.33 combined together. Next is Starbound. This is like No Man's Sky combined with Terraria, from what I understand. And there's a few space sim elements like FTL as well. So FTL, No Man's Sky, and Terraria, which sounds like a great combination. Okay, this one's a good one. I've heard VA11 Holla. So basically Valhalla. It's a cyberpunk bartender adventure. This seems to be like a really, really good, just a story that a character-based story. You want to know these people, and like if you're a bartender who serves people, and it's kind of like bartender the anime, to serve them the right drinks to get them to open up to you, figure out problems and stuff like that. It has got overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's only been out for like a year barely, and it's 33% off, $10. I consider just getting this and just playing it, to be honest. I watched a few reviews of it, and it seems to be just my style. The art is amazing. I love how expressive some of these people are that they've drawn, and it seems to be deeply personal stories from the developers themselves. So moving on, next is Owlboy. It seems to be 30% off, $16. It seems to be a very good detailed 2D game, but the gameplay is a bit lacking in some areas, so consider getting this just for a visual spectacle, but be here to be disappointed in some regards, sad to say. This one's Planetarian HD edition. I think, this is HD edition of Planetarian, which I think I talked about before, but it doesn't have English. It's just Japanese voice acting or something. So you might have to get English subtitles, like patched into it or something. Let me just look. Even the screenshots are in Japanese, so yeah, you probably have to put it in yourself. Next, Kindred Spirits on Route. This is another Yuri story. There's I think it's an anime or a manga based off of this. It's 30% off, $24.50. It's a bundle which comes with a bunch of drama CDs, so you might want to consider that if you're into Yuri. Another Yuri thing right here is Knights of Azure, 30% off for $21. Knights of Azure is just basically fluff. It's like a visual spectacle. If you want to see some Yuri stuff, go for it. The sequel's coming out soon, this year or next year in Japan. Hopefully it's over here as well soon in North America. But yeah, consider if you want. Next, Icy, which is a 27% off, and it only costs $8 right now. It's a 2D platformer type game, side-scrolling action game. It seems to be really, it's really, again, visual spectacle game. I'm not sure about the story. It might be a good story, but it's just like Hollow Knight. It's and a few other games I've mentioned, really good. You just try it out. Next game, Bayonetta. It's 25% off, $15. You know what Bayonetta is. This game has 4K resolution on the PC, which seems to be the best version. The Wii U version, which comes with Bayonetta 2, seems to be impossible to find. So I recommend getting this version on the PC and getting Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U if you have one, and without the Bayonetta 1 game, because it seems that it's easier to find the Bayonetta 2 without the first game on the Wii U. Next, Shadow Tactics Blazer Shogun. This is like a top-down, it's like XCOM-esque type game. It's 25% off, $30 if I didn't say it already. It's a very interesting game. It's a hardcore game, like just like in the XCOM manner as well. The graphics look amazing. The environments are detailed. You have to figure out motions to do. It's kind of like Dawn of War 2 in the way that the game takes place. So try it out. It's also part of a Daedalic Summer Sale bundle for 2017. It comes with a few other games. Bumps it up to $49, 69% off. They only cost $160. For an extra $20, it might be worth getting these extra, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 games. Consider getting it. Next is Dawn of War 3. I don't know much about it. I just know it's $45 right now. I've heard that it's not really up to par with the others, but try it out. Next is What Remains of Edith Finch. Just like a walkie simulator, if I remember right. It's got an overwhelming positive reviews from the Steam community, and again, the art style looks really nice, so I consider giving it a try. 25% off, $15. It comes with a few bundles for the soundtrack. It's gotten rave reviews. Next is Halo Wars Definitive Edition. I mentioned that earlier at the RTS bundle, but by itself it's 25% off, $15. Siberia 3, I mentioned that. Cosmic Star Heroine seems to be a really good RPG game. I remember right. Either that or Crosscode. But yeah, this is like it has a Star Ocean look to it. It's like those 2D sprites look amazing. This came out this year. I don't think this is a Greenlight game. I think Crosscode is in Greenlight, and it's coming out in a constant rate, like more content. But I think this is a complete game. 20% off, $12. It looks fun. This might be a news game on my list coming next. Next Machina. It's like a hardcore bullet hell game with a 2D twin stick shooter thing. It's 20% off for just released at $16. It looks really interesting. Check out Dreamcast guy. He did a review of it. I think ACG did a review of it. He might not have gotten to it yet. I'm not sure. They're both pretty good reviews. It's like you take one hit and you die type game. Next on my list. Now we're getting down to the lower ranks of sales. 15% off. A game called Symphonic Rain. It seemed to be a again, nice emotional journey and tour. It has music inspired. I love music. That's why I put this on the list. A pretty new game. That's why it's only 15% off and $34. Take a look at it. Crosscode, I just mentioned it. It has a similar style to Valhalla and Crosscode and Cosmic Star Heroine, the way it looks. So again, I love 2D sprites. I love that general look of the PlayStation 1, Sega, Saturn look. So I go for it. Planescape, next one, Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition, another one. This is 15% off, $17. This is the new Torment Tides Luminaria, like a spiritual successor. That's what that is to this. 15% off, $17. The digital edition is only 20% off, $22. I could just get that, might as well. It seems to be a real messed up looking game. It's like a real dark fantasy. This will be weird. Next game is called Dead Cells. I didn't want to put this up, but it looked too good to pass up. But it's in early access. I don't like early access and greenlight stuff. I prefer to have a full game right in front of me and stuff. And the prices behind both of them have gotten really messed up, so I choose not to follow them too much. But this one's an exception. It's 15% off, $14. Look if you're interested. Next game on my list, Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky the Third. I mentioned that before. It just came out, but it's already on sale for 10% off for $27. Next game is Northgard, which is another early access game. It seems to be an interesting potential to it. 15% off, $17. Take a look at it. Undertale, nothing. I think that's it. Everything else on my list has either not come out or has not been released yet. I mean, either has not come out or it's on sale right now. So I think that is it. And let me check, how long did that take? Let me just go over my app. That took me a little over an hour. Now, I hope it was worth your time. I listed off, must have been, let me do a check. just people know the video ended right about now, but I just want to look at how much things I have on my list that I've actually talked about. In total, I have 191 things here, but if you take off the things I didn't count at the very end, I must have, let's see, go by discount again. I have 191 in total, but I didn't talk about one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I didn't talk about 13 things here, so I talked about almost 180 games. That is a comprehensive list of everything that you should consider during the Steam Summer Sale. I hope you have a great time. Spend your money wisely. It helps everyone out when people don't waste their money in any market. It makes everything better for us, the consumers, not the businesses. So with that being said, have a great day. I'm Toshigami. This is my longest video I've ever made on camera, I think. And see you later. No editing. That's the only reason this happened. No editing. Let me just click out of this and screw it. I want to make it even hour 10, so I'm just gonna sit back. Do one and